225. She is joining. We will wait for 1 minute for Adarth Rao. So anyone have prepared? Because the Guru sir told me that you are going to present something. If not, you tell me, we will start. I was starting, but I got a message from her that she has prepared some slides. So anyone from other than her? 290,
Yes,
257. Have you prepared?
yes, sir.
What?
Intermolecular forces.
You have what you have prepared the uh, PPT.
Yes, sir.
You want to present.
Yes, sir.
So we will wait for that other trial. Today attendance is less, 55 only. How much time it will take? Student number 290.
15 to 16 minutes only.
Okay, so I will make you presenter. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
290, and then after you, she will. Where is this 290? Forty-one, 43, 7, 2, 59. You do. I have made you presenter, student number 290. Okay, are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
You can share the slide. Roll number 225, you will present after her, 290. Okay, I will present her too.
Sir, today was the day for the student number 322 and for me. As per
Okay,
the
okay,
as
sir
per
has
the
given. Okay. Means today you are going to present. Your number is today.
no, I'm also going to present, but along with me, student 322 is also there.
Okay, no problem. We are having both the lecture because after this lecture we are having PE lecture. So I have made her presenter. She will take 10 minutes. After that you both can present. Okay, no problem. So student number 290 you can start. After you Malika will present. I will make her presenter now also.
Yes, sir.
Ah. So you both are presenter now, and I will add one more presenter after you. You, the student who is going to present. You can start.
I'm trying, but it is not sharing.
Okay, you will wait. Malika, you will start.
Yes, sir.
Malika, 225 you will start. हाँ. Just
Okay,
a minute. Just a minute. And who is going to present with you
no,
today?
sir, she is not presenting with me. She is presenting her own slides. But I just told you today we both are presenting.
Uh, okay, who is second one? What is her number?
Student 322, Suchita
Three.
Swami.
So I will make you both present. I will remove 290. She will present at her given date.
Huh.
235.
322.
320. Okay, you can
Sir,
start. 322. You can start. No problem.
Okay, good morning everyone. So today I'm going to take the seminar over the surface and interfacial tension. So in that I have took the beats according to our PCI syllabus. So one by one we will go through that. Just a minute. So first bit under the chapter is the liquid interface. So here I have put or quoted a diagram here. So with the help of this diagram, we are going to see how the interfacial tension or the surface tension is under the pressure and get a inward pull towards the downward side. Okay. So the liquid state has cohesive force between the molecules. So in the diagram you are seeing that a beaker is there or a container which is full of liquid. So here two particular molecules are emphasized, A and B. So first point says that in the liquid state the cohesive force are present in between the molecules. So cohesive force is the force between the like molecules. So A and B are like molecules which exhibit a cohesive force between them. So second point says a molecule B which is present in bulk of liquid is surrounded by the molecules which has equal force of attraction. So the molecule B is present in the bulk of liquid, which means it is present in the liquid which is present in the container. The molecule B is not on the surface of liquid, it is present inside the liquid. So here they are saying that molecule B is surrounded by the other molecules which has same or equal force of attraction towards each other. So in this container you might have molecule C, D, E and so on. So that molecules are having equal force of attraction to this molecule B. But the molecule A is present at the interface, due to which it bears the potential force of attraction which is not tolerated by molecule B, or which is different from the force of attraction from molecule B. So here you are seeing that, or observing that, the molecule A is present on what interface? What is the interface? Interface is the boundary between the liquids and solids, or the two phases. So molecule A is present at the interface. As it is present at the interface, it has different kind of potential force of attraction. Okay, potential force of attraction it bears, which is not tolerated or not equal to the molecule B equal force of attraction. Okay, due to that, the molecule A experiences the inward pull, and thus it contracts the surface, and hence the surface will be. Please, I will explore here by the help of diagram. So please observe this diagram. So basically we have told that molecule B and A has the cohesive force between each other. But as the molecule A is present on interface, it bears what? Potential force of attraction. But molecule B is present in the bulk of water, due to which it has equal force of attraction between the molecules surrounded to this B apart from this A. Okay, and due to which, as the molecule A is present on the surface, it bears what? Potential force of attraction which is not tolerated by B, and thus A experiences an inward pull, thus contract the surface, and hence the surface is under tension. Why molecule A will get an inward pull? Because the cohesive force is more as compared to adhesive force. So this cohesive force is responsible for what? The inward pull of this molecule A, due to which this interface or surface will be under tension. ठीक है, fourth point तक clear हो गया. Now fifth point, similarly we are looking forward with the interface, which is also show the presence of cohesive and adhesive forces. Thus the interface is too present under tension by experiencing the inward pull. Now the force of tension per unit area of interface of surface is known as surface tension or interface tension. The unit in the SI unit is Newton per meter, and CGS will be dyne per centimeter. So here when we are talking about the interface molecules are also showing the presence of what? Cohesive and adhesive forces. There too will be the inward pull occurring due to greater amount of cohesive force as compared to adhesive, due to which the interface will be get contracted. That means interface will be under tension. So the surface or interface tension is defined as the force of tension per unit length of interface or face is known as interfacial tension or surface tension. Okay, it was about the liquid interface. Now let's move to the surface free energy. In this slide we have I have covered the liquid interface and liquid interface and surface interfacial tension. We have known that liquid interface is having what? The cohesive force between the molecules. The molecule B and A are present. We have two molecule A and B, where A is present at interface, where B is present in the bulk of liquid. The B which has the equal force of attraction between the surrounded molecules, whereas A is having different kind of force, which is potential force of attraction, due to which it will get an inward pull. Thus there will be the contraction of surface or interfacial tension due to greater cohesive force as compared to adhesive force. So the liquid interface, surface and interfacial tension. Now let's move to the surface free energy. So the molecules near the surface of liquid has more potential energy as compared to the molecules in the bulk of liquid. In the first slide we have seen the molecule A is present at interface and B is present in the bulk of liquid. So the molecule A is having what? Potential force of attraction more as compared to molecule B. Similarly, in the surface free energy, the molecules which are present at the surface of liquid has more potential energy as compared to molecules in the bulk of liquid. So, as the surface of liquid increases, the surface area of liquid increases, the molecule present over it will have more potential energy, which is termed as surface free energy. Okay, now let's take the example of molecule A only. It bears the potential energy, so it will have the large or greater amount of surface area of interface or surface. Okay, but if we consider the molecule present at the interface has more potential energy, subsequently it will have more surface area. That means this potential energy of molecule is having direct ratio with the surface of liquid, and this potential energy is considered to be the surface free energy, which is responsible for the enhancement of surface of the liquid. Okay, now to express the surface free energy, W is equal to gamma into delta A, where W is the work done, gamma is the surface tension, and delta A is the increase in the area. If we have put more than 2 or 3 molecules bearing potential energy, and eventually it will enhances the surface area. Okay, that means we can conclude a simple statement from this, that the molecules which are present at interface will bear the potential energy. Due to that particular potential energy, it will enhances the surface area of liquid. That potential energy is also known as surface free energy, which is calculated by W is equal to gamma into delta A. Okay, now spreading coefficient. Now, first point is particular definition of the spreading coefficient. It states that it's the ability of one liquid to spread over another is known as spreading coefficient. Okay, it is the ability of one particular liquid to spread over another is known as spreading coefficient. The difference between the work of adhesion and cohesion is known as spreading coefficient. It is one kind of basic formula for the spreading coefficient, that it is the difference between work of adhesion and work of cohesion. Okay. The spreading coefficient is having inverse ratio with the surface free energy. Now, in the surface free energy, the molecules which are present on the interface or surface bearing potential energy is known as surface free energy, which eventually increases what the surface area of liquid. We have seen this definition in earlier slide. Now we are supposed to know the ratio between the spreading coefficient and surface free energy, which has the inverse ratio, because the spreading coefficient is the difference between the work of adhesion as well as the work of cohesion. Due to this terminology, we are having the inverse ratio with the surface free energy. The value of spreading coefficient is 0 or positive. It is never negative. If it is negative, the formula which we are seeing in further points, it will be not worthful for that particular liquid. So now work of adhesion, as we have termed that the spreading coefficient is difference between work of adhesion and work of cohesion. So let's see with the work of adhesion. So the work of adhesion is the work involved to separate column of two immiscible liquid at the interface into two separate sections. So work of adhesion is the work to separate out the two immiscible liquid at the interface into two separate sections. Okay? At the interface, matlab at the top of the liquid where the potential energy or this surface free energy is present. At that movement, the work of adhesion will take place, which will separate out the two immiscible liquids. Immiscible liquids यानी the liquid which are not at all dissolved with each other. Let's say oil and water. Okay, if the at that point the work of adhesion occur to separate two immiscible liquids, at the interface into two separate sections. For that, formula of work of adhesion is equal to gamma L plus gamma S minus gamma LS. So please wait. Am I audible? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, just a minute. Yeah, thank you. Yes. Now here the WA is the work of adhesion, which is equal to gamma L plus gamma S minus gamma LS, where gamma S is the interfacial tension of sublayer, where gamma LS is the interfacial tension of solid and liquid interface, where gamma L is the interfacial tension of the bulk liquid. Okay, let me explore here once again that work of adhesion is the complete separation of two immiscible liquid at the interface of liquid into two separate sections. For that, we have drawn the formula in that manner, that work of adhesion is equal to interfacial tension of the liquid plus interfacial tension of the sublayer minus interfacial tension of solid and liquid surfaces. Similarly, the work of cohesion is the energy involved in to separate the molecules of spreading liquid so that it should be passed through the sublayer. Now here the work of cohesion is little bit different. After separating out the two immiscible liquid into separate two sections, now we are separating the molecules of spreading liquid. Okay, now we are separating the molecules in the work of cohesion, which molecules of the spreading liquid, so that that particular liquid will pass through the sublayer. Sublayer is the layer which is beside to the interface. So let me 1 minute. So here the molecule A is present at interface. So below that the sublayer is present. So at the interface what we are doing? The work of adhesion is operating, which is usually separating two immiscible liquids into two separate components. Now in the sublayer what is operating? Work of cohesion, where there is the separation of the molecules from the from the spreading liquid, so that it should be passed through the sublayer which is present below the interface. Now formula for the work of cohesion is this WC is equal to 2 gamma L. Work of cohesion is equal to 2 surface interfacial tension of the liquid. That's all. Now we have earlier discussed that the spreading coefficient is the difference between work of cohesion and adhesion. Substituting the formulas of both adhesion and cohesion and drawing this equation, S is equal to gamma L minus gamma S minus gamma LS, we will eventually can evaluate the spreading coefficient of the given liquid in this manner. If gamma S, that is interfacial tension of the sublayer, minus interfacial tension of the liquid plus interfacial tension of liquid and solid interface. Here, if gamma S, which is interfacial tension of sublayer, if it is smaller than the interfacial tension of liquid and solid liquid interface, then it will be negative. S means spreading coefficient will be negative. That means no spreading will occur because we have already talked about this, that the value of spreading coefficient will be 0 or positive, but if it will be negative, there will be no spreading occur. If the YS is greater than this terminologies, eventually it will be positive and spreading will take place. Okay, we have to emphasize here on the both formulas, and we have to also keep in the mind that work of adhesion take place at the interface, whereas work of cohesion take place to pass out the liquid through the sublayer. These three terminologies are very vital. Now let's take a look over the adsorption of liquid interface. Now the adsorption is the surface phenomena where the substance which is being absorbed remain at the surface. Similarly, the absorption is the bulk phenomena. So adsorption at liquid interface is that when the certain molecules or ions, when dispersed in liquid, move of their own accord to the interface. So the molecules when added to liquid get partitioned in the favor of interface is called adsorption. Okay, here the adsorption is what? It is the surface phenomena. That means the adsorption of the substance take place at the interface of the liquid. Whereas the absorption is the bulk phenomena which occur in the medieval or at the end part of the liquid. Similarly, at the liquid interface, when we are putting certain molecules and ions which will disperse in the liquid by their own accordance on the interface. So when we are adding the molecule to a particular liquid and they are getting partitioned in the favor of interface, it is called adsorption. Similar definition is for the positive adsorption, and in the negative adsorption we are seeing that when we are adding the molecules to liquid, it will get partitioned in the favor of bulk. Okay, the positive and negative adsorption are the two types of adsorption of liquid interface, which is nothing but what? The adsorption of substance taking place at the interface, which is surface phenomena. And when we are adding some molecules and that molecules get separated or partitioned in the liquid in the favor of interface is known as adsorption, where positive and negative adsorption are the two types of this liquid interface adsorption, where in the positive adsorption the molecules get partitioned in the favor of interface. In the negative adsorption, the molecules in the liquid get partitioned in the favor of bulk. Okay. Now let's take a look over the core part of the lesson, that is measurement of the surface tension. So there are usually 5 methods of the measuring surface tension, which are as follows: capillary rise method, de Noë tensiometer method, drop weight method, drop count method, and Valmy plate method. So let's go with the capillary rise method. The principal procedure is when the capillary is dipped into liquid, there is the rise in liquid in capillary wall due to the force of adhesion. Okay, when the capillary is dipped into the particular liquid whose surface tension is to be measured, there will be the rise in the liquid in the capillary wall due to force of adhesion between the capillary wall and the liquid. Okay, the rise will be continued till the upward movement is balanced by the downward force of gravity. So by measuring the rise in capillary, it is possible to measure the surface tension of that particular liquid. So to measure the surface tension of the particular liquid, the formula is gamma is equal to RH rho g by 2, where R is the radius of capillary, H is the rise in the column of liquid in the capillary wall, rho is the density of the liquid, g is the gravitational constant divided by 2. By implementation of this formula, we can draw the surface tension of particular liquid in which the capillary is dipped. Okay. Now subsequent method is Dunoyer tensionometer method. So it is widely used method which measures the surface and interfacial tension. So in the capillary rise method, it is the method which only gives us surface tension of liquid. It doesn't measures the interfacial tension of the liquid. Okay, the difference between the surface and interfacial tension is less as compared to surface tension. This is the major differences, and due to that the capillary doesn't give the interfacial tension. But in Dunoyer tensionometer method, it is widely used method because it measures both surface and interfacial tension. The principle is that the force necessary to detach the platinum iridium ring at the surface is proportional to the surface tension. The liquid whose surface tension is to be calculated is poured into the container. A platinum or iridium ring is suspended in liquid. The ring is attached to the scale through the torsion wire. The force required to detach the ring is given by the following formula. So we will come here later. So first, it is widely used method because it gives surface and interfacial tension. So please emphasize this diagram. You will find here a liquid container. This is the liquid whose surface tension is to be calculated. Now we are dipping the platinum and iridium ring into the liquid, which is eventually attached to the scale. You are looking here the scale, and this scale is attached to the platinum iridium loop or ring through the torsion wire. Okay, the first 4 point is saying about that only, but the relation is that the force which is required to detach platinum iridium ring at the surface is proportional to the surface tension. Okay. Yes. Now the force required to detach this platinum loop is given by gamma is equal to P by 2 pi R1 plus R2. Okay, the force required to detach this ring platinum loop is given by gamma is equal to P by 2 pi R1 plus R2. Whereas, wait a second. Am I audible? Yeah.
Yes, you're audible.
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, thank you. Just a minute. Yeah, gamma is equal to P by 2 pi R1 plus R2, where P is the pull exerted through torsion wire on a ring, where 2 pi is the circumference of the ring and R1 and R2 are the radius of the platinum and iridium loop. Okay, but when we are adding the correction factor beta, the formula will be gamma is equal to P by 2 pi R1 plus R2 into beta. So beta is the correction factor. If we are not using this correction factor, we will get the 25% of error. Now the gamma, that is surface tension of liquid, is equal to dial reading by 2 into ring circumference. So eventually by this formula we can draw the formula here that gamma is equal to P by 2 pi R into beta, where capital R will be considered when R1 is equal to R2. At that condition capital R will be considered, and here when we are drawing this equation, we have to make this equation, we have to consider this equation with this formula, that is gamma is equal to dial reading by 2 into ring circumference. So it will be gamma is equal to P by 2 pi R, where R1 is equal to R2. At that condition R will be taken into beta, which is correction factor. Now okay, now the second subsequent method is drop weight method. method. Here the stalagmometer is used in the method. The stalagmometer is used because it has the glass tube with calibration. Marking A. So now please emphasize on this diagram that you will find here the marking A and B. Okay, the marking A is done above the bulb and marking B is done below the bulb. At the tip, the capillary is attached. At the tip, the capillary is attached. The liquid whose surface tension is to be measured is put into the beaker as you are seeing. This is the beaker where the liquid whose surface tension is to be measured is kept, and marking are done in above and below the bulb, and at the tip the capillary here. At the tip the capillary is attached. The capillary sucks the liquid till the point A and then allows the liquid to fall slowly through capillary tube. Now the surface tension of liquid which is sucked by the capillary till point A is calculated in the by use of formula gamma is equal to W by 2 pi R. Okay? Drop count method. In this method, instead of weight, here in the drop weight method we have calculated the weight of the liquid which is sucked by the capillary tube. Here in the drop count method, instead of weight we are counting the number of drop of liquid formed or sucked by that capillary. So as we know, gamma is equal to W by 2 pi R, which is the formula for drop weight method to evaluate the surface tension, or we can also take it as gamma is equal to mg by 2 pi R. So here m is the mass of that particular liquid and g is the gravity. So we know that density is equal to mass by volume. So mass is equal to volume into density. So in that manner we have derived this equation, or we can also go with this manner or the subsequent method to explain the drop count method is the volume of a drop as it is detached from the tip of known radius is detached from a tip of known radius is determined, the surface tension is calculated by. Now when the drop is detached from the tip of the capillary, that radius or that drop surface tension is calculated by gamma is equal to, this is the correction factor, mg by 2 pi r. Here the correction factor is required to prevent detachment of all drop of liquid from the tip. Okay, this correction factor is required to prevent what? Detachment of all drop of liquid. Okay. Now the last method is the Wilmer plate method. So the liquid which is placed in the container whose surface tension is to be recorded or measured, a rectangular plate of glass platinum thin mica is suspended vertically. The plate is attached to the torsion balance. The container is then gradually lowered so that plane detaches from the surface of liquid. The reading on balance is recorded. If liquid completely wet the plate, then the detachment of force is equal to the surface tension multiplied by the perimeter of surface detachment. So here the rectangular plate of glass platinum thin mica is suspended vertically over the liquid container. Now this platinum thin mica is attached to the torsion balance and the container is then gradually lowers so that the plane detaches from the surface of liquid and the reading is taken on the balance which is recorded. Sorry for the disturbance. So may I continue or I have to take pause here? Yeah? Yeah? So may I start or may I have pause here? Hello, am I audible? Yes, you can respond.
Yes, audible. You continue.
Okay, sir, thank you. Okay, we were about the container is then gradually lowers so that plane detaches from surface of liquid. The reading on balance is recorded. If liquid completely wets the plate, then the detachment force is equal to the surface tension, which is multiplied by perimeter of surface detachment. The formula is present here.
Are other than 225 mute your this mute yourself. बाकीचे आवाज येत आहेत सगळे.
Yes, sir, yes. Okay, the formula will be gamma is equal to W1 minus W by 2 into L plus T. It is the formula to determine the surface tension by use of Wilmot plate method, where the glass platinum thin mica is suspended over the liquid whose surface tension is to be measured. Now the subsequent part comes under the surface tension is the surfactant. So surfactant are the molecules or ions that are absorbed at the interface are termed as surfactant. The surfactant has two specific regions, a hydrophilic and a lipophilic region. The addition of surfactant to water, there is the decrease in surface tension and hence referred as surface active agent. Now surfactant are the molecules which get absorbed at the interface. They have two specific regions. One is hydrophilic, that is water loving, and second is lipophilic, affection towards the lipid. If we are adding the surfactant to a water or any other liquid, it will decreases the surface tension and hence referred as what? Surface active agent. Now the classification of surfactant is based on chemical nature is done as follows: anionic, cationic, non-ionic and ampholytic. In the anionic, the hydrophilic tail of the surfactant has the negative charge. Okay, just a minute. Yes, they are commonly used. I'm saying about the anionic. They are commonly used and it has the organic tail with negative charge and head with small positive charge. There are abundant examples of the anionic, but here I would like to quote the soap and fatty acid. Amine soap of fatty acid and metal alkali are specifically used in the anionic surfactant. Similarly, in the cationic surfactant, they have the organic tail charge positive and the polar head with negative charge. The example is benzalkonium chloride, citramide. And in the non-ionic, they doesn't ionize in water cause the hydrophilic part doesn't dissociate in water. Okay, when we put the non-ionic surfactant into water, they doesn't dissociate, doesn't split because the hydrophilic part in them doesn't dissociate in the water. Okay, they are compatible with both cationic and anionic part. They are usually implemented in that preparation if we want to resist the change in pH. So example are twins, polysorbate 80, glycerol esters, etc. In the ampholytic, they depend on the pH of system. Okay, they as it has the both the cationic and anionic characteristics, so they implement those characteristics based on the pH. Below a certain pH, their cationic characteristics are observed, and above the certain pH, it will show the anionic characteristics. At a particular pH, it will form Zwitter ion. Example is lecithin and dodosyl, alanine, alkyl polyoxyethylene, etc. Many of them. So next part comes here is HBL scale, which is hydrophilic lipophilic balance scale system. Okay, the HBL scale is hydrophilic lipophilic balance. a arbitrary scale in which values are assigned to different surfactant according to their nature. The system is given by Griffin, a chemist. He was the chemist, German chemist. A scale ranges, the HBL scale ranges from 1 to 20. Higher number indicate agent is hydrophilic, while lower number indicate it is lipophilic. The HBl of any surfactant can be estimated by using formula HBl is equal to 20 into 1 by S minus S by A, where S is the saponification value and A is the acid value of that particular surfactant. By this formula, we can draw out the HBl scale for given compound. So in this table, you might see these are the values of the HBl scale and subsequent agent falling under this particular value. So in between 4 to 8, they are the anti-foaming agent. Likewise, till 20, they are the agent which falls under. Okay, 7 to 11, they are water by oil emulsifier. 12 to 16, they are oil by water emulsifier. 11 to 14, they are wetting agent. 12 to 15, they are detergent, and 16 to 20, they are the solubilizers. Now the solubilization, the process of increasing the solubility of organic compound in aqueous system due to effect of surface active agent is known as solubilization. The non-polar molecule dissolve in non-polar core of micelles, where polar molecule get absorbed at the micellar surface. The amphiphilic group are arranged in such a way that their polar group is towards aqueous phase and lipophilic is towards the micelles. Okay, the solubilization is the process increasing the solubility of any organic compound in an aqueous system due to effect or due to the addition of surface active agent is known as solubilization. You can draw the conclusion that solubilization is eventually increase in the solubility of any compound by addition of surface active agent. Okay, now here the light dissolves, like in that manner we can say non-polar molecule dissolve the non-polar core of micelle, where polar molecule get absorbed at micellar surface. The amphiphilic group are arranged. Amphiphilic group where the both hydrophilic and lipophilic group are attached. They are arranged in such a manner that their polar group is attached towards the aqueous phase and lipophilic group is attached towards the micelles. Micelles are nothing but the spherical shaped lipid entity which is formed during the solubilization. The temperature at which the micelles occur is known as critical micellar concentration or Kraft temperature. We will see here. The temperature at which the micelle formation occurs is known as Kraft point. The solubility of micelle enhances above the Kraft temperature. The micelles are made up of from inside it is lipophilic and externally it is hydrophilic, which leads to dissolving of both polar and non-polar molecule. Thus, the solubility of poorly water-soluble compound, that is lipophilic compound, can be increased by use of surfactant by the process called solubilization. Okay? Now the detergency, the process where dirt and foreign particles with the help of surfactant. Okay, they act by decreasing the adhesion force between the dirt and surface, thus the dirt get removed or rained off. The detergency process is very complex, which can be explained as, so there are three ways through which the detergency process take place. So if we consider that there is some kind of dirt on any object, so if we apply the detergent, so initial step, the wetting of that particular dirt will occur on the surface of object, and there will be the removal of soluble dirt, removal of insoluble solids, and removal of oil soluble dirt. Okay, as the detergent is the particular organic agent which is applied to remove all kind of dirt or foreign bodies present on the surface. So initially it wet the dirt present on the surface and then it will remove the soluble dirt, insoluble solid and oil soluble dirt. Okay, they are the three categories or process through which the dirt on the particular object will get removed off. Now here the adsorption of at solid interface is there. The adsorption is an surface phenomena we have seen in the adsorption at liquid interface. The accumulation of gas or liquid to the surface of solid is called adsorption. Yeah, the material used to absorb the gas is known as adsorbent and the substance which is being adsorbed is known as adsorbate. The principle of solid interface is used in the decolorization of liquid, adsorption, chromatography and detergency wetting. Okay, so adsorption is what? The accumulation of gas or liquid on the surface of solid. The material used to absorb the gas is known as adsorbent and adsorbate is the substance which is being absorbed. So the principle of this adsorption at solid interface has application in the fields called decolorization of liquid, adsorption chromatography and the detergency wetting. Here in adsorption solid interface we are having the solid gas interface. I'm not going very deep into it because she is also going to take the seminar. So I'm taking very fast and I'm sorry for that too. This adsorption means solid gas interface is generally recognized by following parameters: physical absorption, chemioabsorption, desorption. Here the physical adsorption is associated with the van der Waals forces and it is reversible in nature. In the chemioabsorption, here the adsorbate means what? The substance which being adsorbed is attached to the adsorbent, the material which is used to absorb that particular adsorbate has a primary chemical bond between them, so it is irreversible in nature. Okay, in the chemioabsorption what occur? There is the primary chemical bond formation between this adsorbent and adsorbate, where adsorbent is the material used to adsorb the gas and adsorbent is what? The substance which is being to adsorbed to that particular material. So here in the chemioabsorption, primary chemical bond will form in between adsorbent and adsorbate. Desorption, the removal of adsorbate from adsorbent. Here usually the lysis of this primary chemical bond occur in desorption between the adsorbate and adsorbent. So by that physical, chemio and desorption, we have two isotherms, that is Friedl's adsorption isotherm and Langmuir adsorption isotherm. So to derive these isotherm, various formula are derived. So widely used formula, they are as follow. So these isotherms, there are various equations to evaluate the relationship between the adsorption and pressure of the gas. So these particular isotherms are used to evaluate the relation between the adsorption and the pressure of gas, where formula for the Friedl's adsorption isotherm is gamma is equal to x by m equal to kp raised to 1 by n, where gamma is the mass of gas which is being adsorbed, x is the mass of gas get adsorbed. Okay, the y is the mass of gas getting adsorbed, where x is the mass of gas which had been absorbed. Okay, m is the capital M is the mass of adsorbed gas, where K is the constant, P is the equilibrium gas pressure raised to 1 by n. Then further we have to apply the log on both the side and we have to derive that particular graph. You may find it in the Subramaniam in very detailed manner. Okay, just I am here discussing very superficial part regarding this isotherms. In the subsequent Langmuir adsorption isotherm, the formula is y is equal to small y m into Bp by 1 plus Bp. Okay, here, wait a second. Yeah, here the capital Y is the mass of vapor adsorbed, where small m or Ym is the quantity of vapor adsorbed per unit mass of adsorbent. Small b is the difference between heat of adsorption and the latent heat. Okay, and P is the pressure of adsorbate. So here we have, so I have covered very superficially the lesson surface and interfacial tension. So thank you. So if anyone having any doubt, please let me know. Yeah.
All the students join to the other lecture, pharmaceutical engineering. Okay. Some students have joined. I will join there. Okay. So if you are leaving immediately, I can join there. I cannot leave before you. So you leave this and you join to that room.
Excuse